I bet one of those things is finger banging yourself. I'm waiting for the ass hurt dislikes and comments to pile up, so go ahead if it calms your sensitive nerves.
Ever since becoming a bit bigger on YouTube, I've been having to keep track of a lot of suspicious things some of y'all are up to. One of them being impersonation accounts.
So instead of living up to your audience's expectation, you decided fuck that shit. There are dangerous trolls out there trying to make me look bad.
You might be thinking, Jaiden, come on, they aren't that bad. It's always obvious to tell when someone's a fake. You don't have to worry about it. But I do have to worry about it, innocent viewer. Some people do get fooled by fake accounts, and it can be pretty serious.
No you don't. Everyone and their granduncle can spot a fake account miles away without even looking. Take PewDiePie for example. The most subscribed YouTuber on this site, and you don't see him making a single video about it, because he's humble, and nearly all those accounts are just re-uploads of his old videos. Trust me, it's not as serious as much as you try to make it out to be so.
Of course most of your friends would recognize who the real you is and ignore it, but imagine a few of them were actually fooled and think they're talking to you, when instead they're talking to someone pretending to be you. Wouldn't you be a little concerned about what they're saying to those friends, especially when you have no idea who that person is?
I wouldn't care, except you of all people who are concerned more about your self-proclaimed image rather than the decency of others. That kind of self-wrapped attitude makes me sick. You had the free option to just ignore this, but nope, your standards are too high for that.
And you'd be surprised at how many I've had to take down. I know you'd be surprised because I'm surprised.
Not in the slightest. I wouldn't even notice, or rather couldn't be bothered to notice.
The Newgrounds Twitter account actually saw this and they helped me get the account. They offered to delete it, but I thought I'd sift through what the imposter was noodling around in first.
Because what else are you supposed to do with your free time?
But when I looked at the messages they were sending to other users, I found this gem. Some random guy sent a kinda rude message saying, "One may find it hard to believe that you create animations for a living," with a face in the title. And you know what fake Jaiden said back? "You make animations on Go Animate. Go f*** yourself."
Okay. So he said go fuck yourself, so what?
As of this point in time, I have yet to even fully swear in a video. I've either used a different word, cut myself off before I say the whole thing, or just flat out censored it. All those methods imply the word I'm talking about, but never completely say it. I've said twat before, but I don't consider that one really bad. I don't know.
Funny how it's completely fine to make a video touching upon the topic of flirting and other discreetly consensual clickbait. But in your perfect world, saying fuck isn't acceptable. You'd never say such a thing to anyone. Aren't you such a perfect snowflake?
I don't have Facebook, but I realized there were multiple Jaidens on there just frolicking around without a care in the world.
Highly unlikely, and by so many you mean you only came across one and you got exaggerated about it. That pretty much sums up your cookie-cutter content in a bottle, which is the only reason why you're so popular. Because you over-exaggerate things. Not only that, but you and your yak fag squad pander to kids with this safe comedy lol look at me I'm so random horse shit, and you gullible fuckwads eat it up, but hey, if it works, why change it?
And that was frustrating because Facebook absolutely sucks and doesn't give a flip if someone is stealing your image or content. It literally gives you two options. Block them, which doesn't do anything, like, "Heh, you're fake, we'll catch this block."
You went out of your own way to look for one fake account on both of those sites with a selfish motivation, considering the fact that you don't use those websites, and immediately induce into a panicked meltdown. You act like people are obsessed with you. You pretend anyone who makes a clone account with your name stamped has committed an act of treason. Since the universe always revolves around you, there is no room for trolls.
Whoa man, I can just feel the guilt running down their conscience.
Guilty for what? Stealing your precious name? Oh the horror, how could someone do such a thing? You know the block option on that site is a feature for a reason, to disassociate yourself from that person because your feelings are too hurt to make a legitimate comeback. Hate to break your reality, princess, but the internet is not going to play by your rules and bend to your will when you conveniently want it to. That's not how the real world works.
That'll get people to stop doxing and swatting each other. Go Team Kindness! So since there were so many fake Jaidens running around on Facebook, I had to make an official Jaiden account to intimidate them. I am the Alpha Jaiden. Look, little ones. All the content the light touches is mine. You need to back up. So this is my Facebook page. Follow it if you want, but what's here now is what you get, so don't expect anything else from it.
So in a pathetic act of intolerance, you stoop to their level while at the same time promote your dead Facebook page to prove a point? Well, sweetie, the only point you've been proving so far is that you're an entitled hypocrite with a superiority complex, living in a fallacy where every flaw is everyone else's fault except yours, when you're just adding to the cause in the first place.
So up until that point, impersonation Jaidens weren't that bad, I guess. They're freaking annoying to have to deal with, but I never had too much of an issue with taking them down.
By the way you just phrased that, I'm more than convinced that you did more than just get annoyed.
At Jaiden Animation. Impersonation is very serious and I'd appreciate it if you stopped. Question mark, question mark, question mark? What do you mean question mark, question mark, question mark? You're pretending to be me and I'm taking it very seriously. You need to stop. You're pretending to be me, now you stop! Check the follower count, you're missing an eye in animation, and why don't you get an HD quality banner? Stop being a child. Ha ha ha, right, I'm Jaiden, so I don't know who you are, but stop! This is the point that put me over the edge. I'd had enough with the impersonations, I'd had enough with the disrespect. I wanted to finally say something about this topic after being quiet for so long.
Listen you prepubescent bitch, you're not fooling me in the slightest. I can taste the salty stench under your breath from here. You know, on the basis of her attitude just now, I can tell she's very self-aware of the situation. Trying to hold the ass sore in at once is one hell of a chore while being chill about it, when behind the curtain she's as sensitive as an open sore. Hell, you don't even need to make a fake account to rustle her jimmies. It's amazing what girls are willing to do when on their period.
Just a little detail to throw in right now. Impersonation is almost always illegal and can easily lead to legal ramifications like a $1,000 fine and or up to a year in jail. So, no, I'm not overreacting here. I literally have the power to take people to court.
This article has absolutely nothing to do with your case. This is applied for actual theft conduct, such as stolen private information, leaked address, also known as doxing, and a plethora of other illegal activities. I'm pretty certain making troll accounts isn't on that list. And what the fuck do you plan on telling the judge? This person made a fake account of me and I'm very sensitive about. Immediately make him walk the green mile to the electric chair. This isn't a legal issue, you're just escalating the situation into unnecessary boundaries over such an inconvenience, because from what I've gathered so far is that you've fabricated a lie and manipulated the entire situation for the sake of this video, under a dedicated influence, being afraid that somebody might be retarded enough to come across that troll as you, according to your side of the story. People shouldn't have to dumb themselves down in front of you because you can't handle an innocent joke. But no, you are completely unwilling to get over yourself. Well then, tough shit, you just can't threaten to sue people whenever you want and get away with it, you insecure, self-absorbed, toxic waste of human resource.
I tweeted about the situation, and then a lot of people thought it would be acceptable to then go tell this girl to kill herself. Are you freaking kidding me? I'm sorry, but if you're one of the people who did that, you are not a fan of my videos. You disgust me.
Oh no guys, we're never allowed to say kiss. Such an acronym might trigger most people, not that most kids know how to tie a noose correctly. And I'm afraid if you're one of those people who said that, Jaiden is gonna jump out of the screen and eat all your pets.
It's the common thing to say on the internet now for all those kids out there trying to be edgy, and I'm sick of seeing it all the time. Everyone's so quick to just hate each other now.
Is this the level we're on now? Trying to gain sympathy from a petty cliché. People are always prone to hate on each other when it comes to the internet. It's just the way it is.
Just calm down. Drink a cup of water or something. It's not edgy to be edgy anymore. It's forced and overused. Just because this person is being scummy doesn't mean you can automatically be scummy back to them. That's not at all how it works.
I highly doubt it. Because like I said earlier, your audience is full of kids with no conscience you endlessly pander to. I can think of several different ways that kind of ass-backwards logic can backfire.
I DM'd the girl to try and resolve the whole situation, and I didn't get the closure that we could have had if she just cooperated with me. I've dealt with crazy things before. Things crazier than this. Like, so bad, I can't even talk about them in videos.
Because you know how full of shit you are. Compared to the clusterfuck you've already pulled so far, that's virtually nothing.
And I've resolved them perfectly because everyone was calm, professional, and honest, and just talked it out. And as much as I want to show you guys all the BS she was trying to pull with me, believe me, you'd be banging your head into the wall.
Exactly.
There's really just too much, and I think this one example gives you just enough of a taste to get an idea of what I had to deal with. So James and I started DMing her. Oh yeah, by the way, James got involved too.
I knew this day would come. What else could you possibly do without your white knight, James?
She tried to play it off that people were actually coming to her house and threatening her in real life. She was dead serious. Not only can I disprove the simple concept of that idea in a heartbeat, but looking at the proof she sent us, all we needed was a quick Google search, and boom, myth busted.
Wow, congratulations. You and James are such feeble badasses for solving the obvious.
And I honestly don't think I should go into details about this part because it's pretty heavy sensitive stuff, but I ended up sending the police to her house. That's right, we went full detective mode on this girl. I know people who are good at tracking down addresses and locations, and we got her to tell us just enough information about herself to be able to call the police in our area. And no, we didn't swat her, we were genuinely concerned about the situation.
Okay, hold the fuck up. I can think of utterly two things wrong with that. 1. You're lying out of your queef-encrusted asshole. 2. Even if you were successful enough to manipulate the police into wasting their time driving over to where this person lived, how were you even able to get his address? Unless you were to dox him, or rather pay someone to, and what would be the point? Are you that insecure? You most likely instead failed to get the police's attention for good reason, or just brought it up for clickbait's sake. Either way, you lose credibility. Only someone with an IQ lower than your content quality is mentally crippled enough to believe such toxic bullshit. If half of what you said isn't related to the impersonation anymore, then what do you have to be so concerned about? Could you be any more of a hypocrite? If anything, the only favor you did for that person is embarrass yourself in front of the law enforcement. Yay, this guy needs to be punished for his crimes against humanity as we know it.
So yeah, don't impersonate people.
And the video ends. In conclusion, I've been wanting to make this video for quite a while to address everything wrong with this sociopath and make it apparent to people who know how to think for themselves and can take the criticism of their favorite hibbers. Because after all, we're not perfect, but that doesn't excuse the ridiculous amount of shit this crazy tramp has pulled. And Jaiden, if you happen to be watching this, get over yourself for fuck's sake, and get back to the rice fields where you belong.
Look at this one! You look like Bobby from Lizard Lick!